Over the last 25 years, Austrian film director Michael Haneke has established himself among the most important creative talents in cinema history. From his early work to this year's foreign language Oscar winner Amour, he has forged a unique style, which is sober and realistic and delves into our secret fears and taboos. Haneke has just received the Prince of Asturias Prize. Anja Bencze spoke with him in the northern Spanish city of Oviedo.
Herr Haneke, die Liste Ihrer
Michael Haneke, the list of prizes you've won fills pages. European, German, Golden Globes, 2 Palme d'Ors, an Oscar, and now the Prince of Asturias Prize. Which of these has brought you the most pleasure?
I'm thrilled with each one, because I want the films to be seen, and awards always make people curious, and they watch them. I'm always delighted. And of course, if it's an important prize, you feel that even more when you have a lot. But that's not to say I'm not pleased with a small festival prize. It's a great pleasure, better than the alternative.
Amour, ein Film über die Liebe.
Amour, a film about love, the end of life, and fearing death, won you several awards and a career climax. The Oscar ceremonies were a few months ago.
Die Oscarverleihung liegt schon ein paar Monate zurück.
With hindsight, how do you explain such success with a film that isn't mainstream, since it deals with a subject that everyone tries to avoid?
Behandelt, das die meisten Menschen unangenehm ist, so großen Erfolg haben konnte.
I think it has to do with when the film came out. I always say that it wouldn't have had the same success 10 years earlier, that's sure. But this subject was drawn to the center of public attention by the media, as one we should talk about. But it was also a stroke of luck. That, as much for me as for my producers at the start. When I told them I wanted to do a film about this, we said it's poison at the box office. We'd be better off not doing it. But since it interested me, as I was confronting this problem in my private life, I forced the decision, and in the end, everyone was satisfied. It's marvelous it got done.
Tu ne vas quand même pas malmener ton image sur tes vieux jours?
Je m'en garderais bien. Mais c'est quoi mon image?
Tu es un monstre parfois.
Non mais Guillaume, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? T'es devenu fou?
Assieds-toi.
Non mais je veux pas m'asseoir. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Ihre Filme werden geliebt und
Your films are loved and feared, since they bring the viewer face to face with fears and secrets. Violence is an important subject, psychological and physical violence. Do you understand that some people live it as torture?
I can't contradict any of that, but no one's forced to go to the cinema. There's often this reference to my film Funny Games, which was somewhat known as a provocation to show people what they expose themselves to when they watch a violent film. Because usually in mainstream cinema, violence is treated as consumer goods. We sit in the theatre and watch what's going on, but we're not concerned because it's only a movie. And that makes me furious. That's why I wanted to show the spectator just what he's an accomplice to.
Sie sind Österreicher, gebürtiger Münchner.
So you're Austrian, born in Munich, raised in Vienna, where you still live. You've worked in Germany and keep making French films with French actors in French. Why is that? Where do you feel at home?
I feel at home wherever they let me work. Of course, it's easier to make films in France, demanding films, I'd say, not purely commercial cinema. It's easier to find the money to do that in France. Also, there are such excellent actors in France. That's not to say there aren't excellent actors in Germany, but that's the way it is. I was able to make one film in France because Juliette Binoche saw my Austrian films and called me up to ask if we could do something together. I was absolutely stunned. I thought someone was having a joke at my expense. Then we made a film, and other opportunities came up. Now I have a lot of friends in France, and I love working there. But that doesn't mean I don't work in Germany and in Austria. It also depends on the story we want to tell.
When we Google your name, there's a Twitter account for Michael Haneke with some pretty funny comments. It's a parody by a journalist fan of yours. The account's closed now, but it was very appreciated, with more than 20,000 followers at time. You laugh, but you don't really appreciate online social media. Why not?
No, I didn't say that. I laugh because I didn't know, and then some students told me. Then I went to look and found it funny, but that's all. It's not true that I don't like new media, quite the opposite. My new film that I'm writing touches on the subject a bit. It's just that I'm not in it constantly. I just don't have enough time for that sort of thing.
Aber es ist nicht so, dass ich persönlich mich jetzt da drinnen dauernd bewege, weil ich gar nicht die Zeit für sowas habe.
You've brought me to my next question. Can you tell us a bit about your next film project?
I can't tell you anymore. I've done that too often, and then had to correct myself and apologize afterwards because the film talked about something I didn't mention. I swore this time I'd keep quiet.
A lot of American directors at the moment are turning away from cinema to make television series. You come from television. Is this a vision of the future for you?
If commercial cinema stays as weak as it is, it's natural that people with slightly more intellectual ambitions look for a spot. No one would have thought 10 years ago it was possible for television to have a renaissance, thanks to directors in the US who got frustrated and started making series. I find what they're doing is fantastic. Partly they're really intelligent stories that we don't get in American movies. So why not? What happens with it all, no one can say. Otherwise, we'd already have predicted what's happening now. As long as they let me, I'm going to keep on working, for as long as I have ideas. I might not have any, and then I won't force myself. But as long as it works and people want to see it, there's no reason to stop.
We'll hold you to that. Thank you very much.
Ich danke Ihnen für dieses Gespräch.
Danke.
Vielen Dank.
So.